Hey guys, so we had some slight technical difficulties recording the GTA version of the National Championship preview. So right now you're going to be listening to technically part 2, which is the Calgary Gators. I'm not exactly sure if and or when I'll be able to get the GTA podcast version up. I'm working on it now. I had to send some emails to the people that run the program, but I'm not sure when they'll get back to me. So for now, enjoy the Calgary Gators preview for tomorrow's National Championship game. Welcome back to Alberta Football Uncensored, part 2 of our national championship preview. We've got a group of Calgary Gators with us. But first, Omari, I've got to throw it to you. You've got a little thing to do with True North Grits, who's generously sponsored us for this episode. So go ahead and talk about some True North Grits.
Yes, we have this episode sponsored by yours truly, True North Grit, up in Grand Prairie by a local Grand Prairie, Peace Country Cowboys. Tyson, number 12, also all-star guy, great guy and everything, just everything he's doing, and absolutely love what he's doing just with the businesses now that he is, taken into just with Master of Fitness and True North Grit. If you're in the northern Alberta area, you're absolutely blessed to have not only him also drop some merch, which is nice. I feel like merch here, finding football merch is always tough, but to have a guy committed to doing that, bringing football gloves, leggings, Under Armour under sleeves, and everything. He does a great job with that. He also has a camp upcoming here too. It is sold out, so my guy has been hustling. It's a 2024 True North Grit camp. It was also all sold out here too, so stay tuned for the next one coming up here. I'm sure that's one thing which will be lights out here for something that's coming up. And if you're a young player listening to this in the Grand Prairie area, definitely stay tuned for future camps to come, because he comes from a youth sport background, a lot of football knowledge, just with himself and the staff that he surrounds himself with. Does absolutely lights out job there. So want to thank you again, Tyson, here for sponsoring this episode, True North Grit. I know he has some sick gloves that he actually has some of the guys from the Peace Country Cowboys wear. I think he had a few guys wear it out. You can get a custom made and everything. So if you're looking to make a glove order, definitely hit him up. Right? I feel like one thing that we love to do here is support guys in the AFL who have businesses, who have aspirations, and if we can help him in his area, just putting orders through, exposure, all those stuff. He's doing good things for the youth and for the community. So I appreciate you, Tyson, and feel free to check out his website, his gym, Instagram, True North Grit, and as well Master of Fitness.
Awesome. Thanks, Omari. And thanks, Tyson. And for those that don't know, Tyson's a heck of a football player as well up there in Grand Prairie. So well worth it if you're up there and want some training or some merchandise. So True North Grit, we appreciate that. And as always, we are willing to plug anybody who gives us money to keep this podcast going. So if you're one of those people, we get 200 plus downloads every episode, and it's about to get more because as we get into the high school season, we usually seem to be doubling that as we get more reach throughout the province, and we're going to start that next week. But moving on to
high school kids, they seem to share stuff.
Yeah, they seem to share stuff. Yeah. Okay, so moving on to the game tomorrow. Dawson, I want to start with you. What's your experience been like with the Gators this year? Obviously helping them chase something that they've been trying to chase and been so close to before in the past. What was your experience like with the team this year? And what are you really looking forward to about tomorrow?
Honestly, I didn't know what to expect coming out here. When I talked to Kurt on the phone, actually, I was in a parking lot for 2 hours of Metro with my truck running, just talking to Kurt, and he was a great guy. And so I came out here, and the guys were just all great right away. We practiced at a high school, which was like a little different than when I was used to at the time, but adjusted good. And I could tell like the guys really wanted this. I didn't know much of the history, but you could just tell through like their emotion and the guys showing up at practice and the seriousness and the effort that honestly Kurt was putting in, and a bunch of other guys too, but how bad they wanted it, and I bought in right away. And so I know this game means a lot into tomorrow for the guys, because I know there's been some like history for some of them. So just excited to go out there with my boys from Ontario, King and Cody, and but the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, awesome. I appreciate that. And Kurt, obviously you've been a part of the Gators for a very long time, bringing them back this year. We've had a few conversations. Obviously, you've been on the podcast a few times, but I just kind of want to know what, and we're going to hopefully be in, Omari and I will head to each locker room and record some pre-game, right before the game locker room stuff for the podcast and for the YouTube channel. But what is your message going to be to the guys pre-game, Kurt, as far as what you want from them, what you expect from them, and what it really means to the guys that have been around for a long time, especially to the new guys like Dawson who didn't experience those losses. So what are you really focusing on with your guys for tomorrow?
We talked about it a little bit tonight, just not coming out tight, just playing loose and having fun. Like, there's obviously history with the team, but like, I think we've done a good job this year of just trying to worry about this year and not worry about what's happened in the past. And, there's guys that were around for it. There's guys that have, or have no idea about it. And, they're fresh in the league. And, at the end of the day, like what's happened in the past is the past. And we, get a chance to right some wrongs. And, like it's, I don't know, how I feel about sports. It's just poetic, man, that we get to come back after 7 years, kind of put a team together that can be right back here and like hosting the team, that we've lost to twice. So, my message is, don't worry about all that. Like we deserve to be here. We've earned it to be here, with the blood, the sweat and everything we've left on the field this season. So, I'm just worried about tomorrow, and the opponent is the opponent, and it wouldn't matter who it was really, because we want to win a national championship no matter what. I mean, it's great that it's GTA, like there's history there, and we have respect for them obviously, and it's a story that is good on pretty much every angle. So
yeah, no, it really is, and it actually kind of different situation, but it reminds me a little bit when you said that it was poetic, it kind of took me back to the 2016 Monarchs, who unfortunately beat my team, the 2016 Bucks, which was one of the best football teams I've ever been a part of, if not the best football team I've ever been a part of. But for them, they had the fires that year and were displaced and had to play their games all over the place, and it worked out for them, and it was kind of poetic in that moment. And I feel that a little bit with you guys this year. And I've said this publicly before, but I didn't say this to the GTA guys, but I'm definitely cheering for you guys. Obviously, I've known you for a long time. I've known a lot of those guys, Ben and Xavier, and a lot of those guys, Brett Mercier, who I love, and that are on your team. And I'm really hoping that it works out for you guys tomorrow. And I think it will be really special for everyone, Oren Danoff as well. I mean, that guy's been around for so long as well. So as much shit as he talks to me, I wouldn't be happier to see him be able to close that in front of his kids and his family as well. Just quickly, Kurt, before I ask Cody something, talk to me a little bit about the decision to go to Airdrie. I know they got the brand new turf. It's world class. I think it's a phenomenal decision. I think that place is going to be incredible tomorrow. I don't think you could have gotten a better place. What was really your decision making going into that, and how excited are you to be a part of that? Obviously, yourself, you live in Airdrie.
Yeah, I mean, prior to the season, obviously they had started moving forward with approvals and getting the field done, and it was always something on the back burner that there was a chance, that they're saying late summer, early fall, and we didn't want to get ahead of our get out over our skis, but we wanted to be here. We put a team together that we expected to be here. So once things started looking like it was going to be ready, and I reached out to some people, and we got a hold of Chris Glass, who was huge in getting the fields done. He's the head coach at George Mack.
Yeah, he's been on the podcast actually. Yeah, great guy.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude. So I just, for us, especially having the conversation with him and the passion that he has for Airdrie football and just the football community in general, and then really just dealing with Airdrie in the city, and everybody is pumped about it. they were so excited to have us. Like this is kind of a vision that they had where it was like, hey, if we put this facility in, we will get tournaments, we will get this stuff. We need a turf field. So yeah, it was something that I looked at and I just said, what, like in Calgary, there's a lot of big fish in a big pond, and a lot of you're just not going to get the same kind of small town vibe, even though Airdrie's kind of creeping up to around 100,000 people. And yeah, we started looking into it, and like the city of Airdrie was like, we want to help sponsor the game. We want to do everything we can to make this a good event. And like the city of Calgary, dealing with them, like they're obviously bigger, and this is not anything specific to Calgary, but they don't want to work with you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
We would have never got on a Zoom call with like all these people from the city and talk about what they can do for us. It's like, we're lucky if they help us at all. So, that's not a knock on Calgary. Obviously they've been great to us in certain ways, but it's a great facility with still that small town vibe. And even around town, like we were getting some stuff at Costco today, a couple of the guys, and we had our Gators gear on, and a couple people walked up to us and were like, in the Costco and Airdrie, and they're, oh yeah, you guys have your game tomorrow, like good luck. And I'm a coach in high school, like we're going to be there. So like,
that's awesome.
The chances of that happening in Calgary are not very good. And like, I coach my son now. He just started his tackle season, and like everybody kept walking up and like, oh, we're so excited for, your game this week. Like, so it's been really cool. And, I'm expecting a good crowd, and, we're excited that it worked out this way. Like I said, I mean, everything that has happened is just kind of fallen into, making it to where we can really host a proper event, because Calgary would have done okay, but just for everything the team has gone through and in the history, like, just for everything to kind of fall into place, and like we got to go out and do our job and win the game. But like when it comes to an event, from that standpoint, everything has fallen into place to really have something special. So.
Yeah, I'm reminded in my very first year with the Bucks in 2010, the Lloydminster Vandals made it to the national championship, but couldn't host because of their field, so they hosted it in Lacombe, and so it was Lloydminster versus Sault Ste. Marie 2010 national championship in Lacombe, and I was there where the Bucks were volunteering, and there was like 2,500 people there, small town, and no one really knew these teams. People just came out to watch like good football. And so I'm so excited to get there tomorrow. There was, I'm doing my wife and I are heading up to her in-laws in the morning, and we're going to do our gender reveal. I'm hitting a golf ball, and then they're going to find out what the sex of the baby is that we're having. And then,
of course you're hitting a golf ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to. Yeah, I'm so excited. And then, and then I'm going to head straight to Airdrie, and I'm so excited to be there and just be a part of the atmosphere. I'm just so stoked. I mean, obviously I wish I was playing in the game. I've never played in a national. I think that'd be an amazing feeling, but just to be there and be a part of it, I'm so excited. So I'm glad you guys did that. I'm excited to see all the fans. I'm excited to see what they do and the spectacle they make of it. I think it's just going to be amazing. And Cody, I'll ask you before I let Omari ask some questions. This year, you guys, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but like you didn't face obviously a ton of adversity. You basically blew everybody out. The Jets were good. You handled them really well in both games. How are you guys feeling moving into tomorrow with a team that I would assume is probably going to be the best team you've played so far this year? Do you think you guys are ready? Do you think the lack of like true game adversity is going to hurt you, or is this group just so strong mentally that it's not an issue in your mind?
I think some adversity will actually do us some good. Like, I think there might be a couple moments in this game where we are going to be put to the test and it's going to take some adjustment. But like, I've been waiting for that this whole fucking year, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sorry for the adjustment.
Hey, it's uncensored. You're free. You're free, man.
Yeah, man. So like, honestly, like, I think we're ready to go. Like, sure, we've been playing down to some teams in a sense, but like, that gets other guys on the field too. And like, everybody on this team has a role, like, so I think we're completely ready for this shit.
Awesome. I love that answer. Omari, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to dive into just with I think just heading into tomorrow, I think that like when I look at this game and look at how this team can really test you guys, I think the one factor that will really determine, this game being either close to really far apart is where the adversity you guys face, how fast you guys can overcome it. And so, if that's going to be something where if it's a close game on defense, things on offense start moving or are adjusting. Do you guys feel like you're in a spot now to be able to adapt quickly or quick enough in a game that actually, let me clarify that. Adjust in a game quickly versus, you look at the season where you haven't really had to adjust. You can run what you want. You can rush your 6, drop 4 back, drop 3 back. It's pretty coasting. But now when you're in those moments and you're in those heat of the moment, heat of the battle, you have to be able to adjust. And so do you guys feel like you're ready to go? I know you guys had your team meal, feel ready to go physically wise. Whoever wants to answer this question, but
yeah, we've done a ton of prep on these guys, so like we know what they've been bringing all year. So they're obviously going to come with some stuff we haven't seen. Like that's how football works. But like like we've been good at adjusting all year, and I don't think that'll really change. Sure, it might be a little bit of a tougher test because it's a better team, but like we got the guys to adjust and become the big dog in that sense,
Yeah, because you guys also have quite the team to adapt to any changes. Just from what I've seen and playing against you guys, what I've seen, you guys can easily adapt to a lot of situations, which favors you guys and as well favors in how you guys have prepped. And to leading on to prep too, Dawson, I got a question for you now is, I've asked this now for the GTA side of it, just with, anyone on NFC listens in trying to figure out what they do to get better. I know I've been out to a couple practices, just getting content, everything, and I guess for the first time, it's cool for me to see how you guys practice. One thing I've seen just with my team, other teams, sometimes teams don't want to hit, or they don't want to practice intense. What do you have to say to that for teams that kind of have that mentality?
Yeah, so I've obviously only been a part of the Gators, and so that's all I know. And the intensity there is good. Like to be honest, like we lock in, we do like our scout O, scout D, we do compete periods, we do special teams, and um I didn't know like numbers was an issue like for other teams. And so we are actually pretty privileged to be able to do that because it helps us a lot tremendously actually with like prepping for teams and being ready, and especially if guys are actually trying and want to hit and want to crack the roster spots. Because I'm not gonna lie, like, and no disrespect to other teams in the league, but I think majority of even our backups could even be starters for a lot of these other teams. Just to list off a couple guys, like you got Brock Hart, Kyle, Gary, you got like OJ, uh, Brett as well. Like these guys are like studs. And I think having them give our offense good looks and, on the offensive side, us getting good looks, I think that really helps. And we also do film sessions. Like we hop on Zoom, we meet at Kurt's house in his basement. He's got a cool little movie theater like system down there and stuff. So we get to see it in 4K and talk about it and make our adjustments from there. So going off to your last question as well, like, yeah, like we haven't really shown a lot, but we do have a lot in store. Like we have a lot in our toolkit that we haven't shown anybody yet. And, we hope to be able to use it. Like Cody said, we hope we get the chance to face adversity, get punched in the mouth a bit, and then like let's adapt. Like let's see what we're actually made of as a team.
Nice, love to hear it. And just a question for you, Cody and Dawson: what's going to be your favorite outside in the regular season of AFL? What's been your favorite welcome to the AFL moment?
Like, are you talking like highlighted plays or what? Like
whatever you want.
whatever you want. It can be
Like
highlighted
football
play.
related, because a lot of shit happened outside of football.
Well,
yeah, I don't know.
Hey, that's a different podcast.
Yeah, okay. It's uncensored, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Welcome to the AFL. I can't say my favorite. I don't have like a welcome to the AFL moment, but like my favorite moment so far was blocking that kick in that AFL championship to set the tone for the game. Like that was I live for blocking kicks. That's my shit. And like, I don't know. That felt really good.
I've never heard anyone say
Yeah.
I live for blocking kicks. I love that. That's great.
Yeah, it really does.
Someone needs to hire this guy as a special teams coordinator right away. 'cause
Hey, that's my
the atti-
job right now.
That's the attitude we need.
Yeah.
Dawson, and Dawson, for you, what was your favorite AFL moment? Either uncensored, censored, whatever. Just like, you're coming from University of Toronto, U Sport to this. I know there's an adjustment, but I think that's one thing that you've seen is that there's a lot of passion for the game of football, which I'm sure you've seen, and just whatever that you've experienced so far.
Yeah. To be frank, it was the first game we got to Cold Lake. There's just a lot of hype behind it, and I was really excited to go out there with the guys and just like kind of flip the script a little bit. And especially playing it with Cody, because I've known Cody almost my entire life, and I've never actually got to play with him.
I've been talking about it for years.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for years, so that was really cool seeing him on the field and get to see each other in action. And I played with King for a while at U of T, so we kind of know what we got. But it's just great when you get that to experience that with.
It all comes full circle,
Yeah, like a full circle. So that was awesome.
That's awesome. And then my last question before I hand it back to you, Tej, is Kurt, what's the recruiting sauce that you got? Like, you got something in the fridge down there in that theater room? Like, when you called Dawson, did you go to you must have been in that room calling him and everything. What's one thing that you want to give as a tidbit to all of us other AFL teams on the recruiting talk inside of it?
Well, at the end of the day, like, you have to be able to sell your team and, have a vision and, have people be able to relate to you too. So, there's no secret sauce. Like, I can talk to anybody, and at the end of the day, talking only gets you so far. And results speak just as loud as any word you're going to do. And, I don't know, like I feel like, and I was thinking about this the other day, actually, just because of just the relationships that we have on the team and some of the guys that have come in and, I just feel like there's a lot of talk of, family and we're all boys and da da da. And it's just we don't really have to talk about it. Like we're on a bye week on Canada Day. Like, no offense, Tej, because it's your team.
Oh, great. I saw you guys there.
Yeah, like a bye week on Canada Day. And, we chose to get some of our kids and some of the guys together. And we probably had more people at a tailgate than you guys did in a game.
No, literally. Yeah.
So
that was a great tailgate too. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, we actually don't just talk about it. We are about it. We do things together. We're always, again, and we've talked about it on the podcast before, but and then the veterans, our kids are friends, and you know what I mean? It's just, my biggest thing is I'm never going to get somebody to come out here and play football and lie to them, because I just don't, because I hear the stories and some of the guys that have played on other teams, and they tell me the horror stories of going and playing at other places. And I'm just at the end of the day, you have to look this person in the eyes and explain yourself. And that's never going to be me. I'm an outspoken person. I speak my mind. I demand, everything out of everybody that I put into it. So for me, I never respected that thing where they'll just tell you whatever you want to hear to get you here. And then you're here and, everything you've said isn't true. And it's that's just not me, and it's never going to be me. And, I think guys can see right very quickly that I'm a genuine person, and I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I'm just going to tell you how it is. And, that's kind of the best description I can give of it. If you're looking for a secret sauce, I think the problem is, I think the secret sauce is fake. And I think you just have to be real and, do your best to run a good organization. And I think we've done that, and I think we'll continue to do that. So.
Yeah, you know what? I love that answer, Kurt, and I couldn't agree more. It's funny, I actually said something similar to my boys today. We had a tough loss, 18-13 loss to a really good Hunting Hills team from Red Deer. And I think that you kind of said it, the secret sauce is just being real and being genuine. And I know for me in my own life, like anyone that listens to this podcast probably also understands that that's my philosophy on things. I'm going to say what I want and what I think and be honest with people. Sometimes to a fault, and it gets me in trouble, and some people don't like me because of it, but I don't really care. I think that genuine people are hard to find. And I think when you find genuine people, there's a different energy about them, and it attracts people to them. And so you can clearly see that. And you can clearly see that with the group that you guys have and the people you've brought in, and the brotherhood. Like that tailgate was actually insane. Like I took to see you guys out there on Canada Day watching $18 get. Actually, we didn't even play that bad. I was going to say get our asses kicked, but we didn't play that bad. Airdrie kind of sucked, so we were able to hold it a little bit close. But no, I really like that, and I think that for anyone listening, that's what it is, right? Don't lie to people. Like, don't give people false promises. You know, be real, be genuine, say what you can offer, and hopefully it's enough to want people to come in. Dawson, I'll ask you this next one. What have you seen? Obviously, you guys said that you were scouting and preparing. What have you seen from GTA's offense that you're really focusing on and that you're paying attention to going into tomorrow's game?
So GTA's offense, when's this coming out? Like, does it matter?
No, I mean, you don't have to go into, you don't have to go, give any secrets away, more kind of vague, but I asked them the same question and they gave a good answer. So.
Okay. Well, they have a very mobile quarterback. So we're we got some stuff for him. Their O-line's like all right. I think they're gonna have a tough time adjusting to our guys, especially with the yard off the ball, because I think they don't have that. Like they're just straight head up. They, from what I've seen, they're very they give away certain tells like pretty quickly. I feel like their team isn't really much of a team. It's very individual based. So when they're getting the ball, like they're hopping around, skipping around. So I think that's a pretty obvious giveaway. But other than that, I think just our defense is going to send a lot of pressure, and we'll see if they fold. And again, if they don't fold, we have a lot of other things in our toolkit that we're excited to use. So. Yeah.
You know what? I appreciate that. And you know what's funny? I because we try to dig a little bit on things and people are scared to give away game plan. But my thought process has been pretty simple. And I'm the D coordinator at my school, and I tell my guys this all the time. I said, they can know we're rushing. They can know what gap we're hitting. They can know everything that we're doing. And it doesn't matter if we do the job better than them. So I appreciate you being candid there and just giving an answer, because that shows me confidence in your group that it's like, it doesn't matter. We could tell you the play. You still have to stop it. And that message, I think, gets lost in football a lot of times. It's like we especially in the coaching world, we get a little bit too horny for being super creative and doing all these crazy things, when in reality it comes down to do your job, win your rep, and you'll be successful. And so I really like that. Cody, what about you? What have you seen from the team overall, whether it be offensively or defensively, that you personally have really focused in on or looking to make sure you're paying attention to?
I've noticed they don't really take I don't know the word for it, but they don't really take much time to develop their special teams. So we're going to really expose them on special teams, I think. And offensively, I've noticed they like to use a lot of decoy kind of plays to draw, say, myself out to the flats to target a hole. And we're completely ready for it. We got our eyes on the quarterback the whole time. I'm not going to be trying. I think we're solid.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Okay, so actually, Kurt, I want to ask you this one before we open the floor to you guys. Who do you think? Who do you have an idea of that is kind of maybe one of your lesser known players that you think is going to have a really big impact on the game tomorrow?
We've got a lot, I feel like a lot of our guys are fairly well known, but we've got some young receivers, man, they've been working their tails off and are ready to contribute. Like Kynan Perry, he's honestly, man, he's just got to get the mental side of things together, but the kid is an absolute freak. The size, the speed, and just his ability to go get the ball. He's somebody that, I think there's certain situations that he could play a big factor in the game. I guess that would be on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, you got guys like Brett Mercier, like he's a young guy but very athletic and can make plays. And then like at the end of the day, like for whatever reason, he kind of gets lost in the mix. But like Umar Diallo, like one of our DNs, like played university football, like he's an absolute animal. Like Connor Enns and like Travis, obviously guys know him in the league, Dietrich, but honestly, like Umar, he brings something to the team where he's a quiet guy, but he's a beast, and he doesn't get, I think, the credit that he deserves when it comes to the talent that he has. So I mean, I think he's going to give GTA's O-line some fits throughout the game, and it does come down to there's probably somebody I'm not thinking of that at the end of the day, if we can come out on top, that you look back and it's like, man, like that guy really made some plays. Like even in the AFL championship game, like Peter Lee, he a receiver, like on special teams. If you go back and look at that game, some of the plays that he made were absolutely insane. Like going up and getting an onside kick, like flying from one side of the field to the next to make a tackle on a punt return that Cold Lake almost got loose on. So it's just like, it's the little things that are going to win this game. And obviously we know that. We've been in these games where the little things matter, and we know because it's cost us games, So, but yeah, I think those are some guys that could definitely play a huge factor in, the way this game goes. And, I'm excited for them to be able to show what they can do as well.
Pronounce the receiver's name again? Kynan?
Yeah, Kynan.
Yeah, you know what? It's actually funny that you said that, because that's the name that I wrote down, because that's the guy that I think too. So watching film and watching him and seeing some of the highlight clips he's put out, I've been really impressed. I think he's a Drumheller kid, and I think with Drumheller, and good football program down there too. But that's the name that I wrote down as well. I agree. I think he, because we know Ben, we know Xavier, and we know those guys. This kid can catch the football, and he makes tough catches, and I like his game a lot, and I agree with you on that. That's literally the name I wrote down. Okay, I'm going to open the floor to you guys. Dawson, we'll start with you. Anything you want to say, anything, doesn't matter. This is completely open. Any shout outs you want to make to anyone, floor is yours.
Well, first things first, shout out Sniper Gang. If you guys don't know, that's our DBs. Shout out our vets, Sicky, the Donoffs, Kurt especially. I just want you guys to know, this is just to the Gators, that like we embody, like the new guys embody like what you guys have been through in the past, especially with football, especially Smokes. And like we're ready to give it all for you guys. So we're excited to get it done.
Awesome. Cody.
Yeah, he kind of covered it. I was going to shout out all the vets that's made this place feel like home for the last couple months for me, and I'm excited to finish this job for them.
Awesome. Kurt.
Yeah, obviously just shout out to our team, and everything that we've done. Like I told them, we've earned it. We've earned the right to be here. We've done everything we needed to do. We just got to go out and take care of business. And I'm just proud to be one of the leaders on this team, and what guys have accomplished this year, and the dedication that they put into it, because it does take a lot, and I know guys have a lot going on in their lives just like me, and it's being out there in a walkthrough and just seeing how locked in everybody is and 50 deep, like it makes it worth it, because there's sometimes with my life and schedule, things are so crazy, like sometimes you have to wonder, like, man, when you get frustrated, like, what the fuck am I doing sometimes? Like I could be doing other shit, but nights like tonight, and like I even at the end felt like I got a little emotional, just because like at the end of the day, like win or lose, like that was our last practice, like that's the last time we're going to be on a practice field together, and some of us will stay friends and some of us will be in contact, but the reality is, as a whole, that's the last time we'll all be together out on a practice field. And tomorrow, win or lose, it's the last time we'll be out on a football field playing a game together. And, you know, so I as you get older, you really start to kind of look at those things. And one thing that I've been telling the guys all year is, you know, we're climbing to the top of a mountain to try to get there. And, you know, like a wise coach once said, you get up there and all there is the top of a mountain. It's all about climbing up with your boys and getting there is what really matters at the end of the day. So, you know, like I just tell everybody, like we're knee deep in it right now. We're almost to the top, but we're still climbing, and, you know, just embrace it, man. And really, you know, look at each other in the eyes and just, you know, appreciate the fact that we get to do this. And, you know, like it's for the young guys that might be harder to soak in, but for a guy like me that's probably on the last leg of his, you know, football career, that soaks in for me big time every time I step on the field, whether it's a practice or a game. And, you know, like I said, I appreciate all these guys. And honestly, I just want to shout out City of Airdrie, Chris Glass, all the people that made this possible, like our board, you know, some of the women on our board that have done so much that don't get the credit of what happens on the field. They've been huge. And I'm just really hoping that, you know, the football community in Calgary and Airdrie and in surrounding areas, like they come out and, you know, make this event something that we'll look back on and really be proud of. And I think that's going to happen. So.
Yeah, I love that message, Kurt. I think I'm in the same boat, right? Like you start appreciating things a lot more when you get older, especially when it comes to football and everything that it's meant to our lives. So I appreciate you all being here. Omari, do you have anything else? If not, I will take one more shout out to True North Grits. True North Grits, check them out. They've been so gracious to us to sponsor this national championship pregame show. Omari, anything else? Or if not, you can close this out.
I think I'm all good on my end, just with looking forward to see you guys all ball out. You know, high level football. Yeah, guys who love football. It's something that it's awesome to be around. I think I know. I'll say Friday for Dawson and Kay. I think we were out competing at the ID camp. It was just a fun time to compete with guys who just love football. And, you know, as you get higher in your career, like, you know, it can become like a business at times, and it's nice to finally have it just be like, hey, like, this is just fun. I get to have that. I like to say the AFL's got that bantam feel of fun where you get to show up to the field, get ready, get dressed, ball out. You got your adult responsibilities, but now it's just, hey, I love football, and I'm now more mature in the game. So appreciate everyone here, and looking forward to the game tomorrow. It's going to be a fun time to see. For those who appreciate everyone tuning in, you can check this episode out. All our episodes here on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube as well. Be ready for the live stream tomorrow. We have some fun stuff with that. Got to get some post-game stuff, pre-game stuff, and all that stuff. So we're trying to make sure we doing a great job exposing everything and getting as many eyes as we can on this game and having everyone have a good time.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, so much. Get a good sleep and really good luck tomorrow. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks,
you
guys.
bet.
Appreciate it.
You bet. Take care.